peace, and and having now now to vibrate, not going too far in the future, not going too far in the past. Right now is where we at. Is where we headed. Uh, excuse me. We're gonna talk about full moon in Aries. Going on, matter of fact, September 24th slash 25th. And also, right now, we dealing with the equinox, the fall equinox, September 22nd, which is today. So, happy fall equinox. One of the things, of course, you got the double vibe of reaping what you sow, because the fall equinox is about, reaping all those seeds, you done planted, it's about reaping the fruits and benefits from what you harvested a while back. And also with the full moon, it's like reaping what you sow from those seeds you planted from the new moon, you know. And I'm gonna get first more into like the equinox vibes. As a matter of fact, what we dealing with right now. And one of the things why the equinox is one of the many things why the equinox is important, why it always has been kept up with, from indigenous times of us, always just knowing when these seasons come around. One of the things is around this fall equinox time, the veil thins. You know what I'm saying? The veil, quote unquote, that the veil between the seen world and the unseen world, seen and unseen, physical and non-physical. And again, I told y'all how I feel about, for lack of a better word, because I feel like even the unseen realm is a seen realm. You're just not seeing it with these two eyes, but you're still seeing it, you know. But the veil thins. As a matter of fact, you'll see why, like, that witch vibe, like, other than the fact of like October brings in Halloween, but you see that there's no coincidence, like these things lined up together, because Halloween deals with, indirectly, Halloween was started as a ritual to connect with the ancestors. And it was like the reason for wearing the mask, the whole masquerade vibe was like, it was a ritual where they would summon the ancestors back, and so the ancestors could walk amongst them without you know, without us being like, oh, you know what I'm saying, like, damn, like being scared or whatever. Like, we just do a costume party, and in essence, it allowed for the ancestors to walk amongst us, in that type of vibe. So you see that that's the whole thing to the costume with Halloween. One of the things, of course, they got many different derivations of why, certain things that we did or do, but that's one of the things is dealing with, summoning the ancestors. So with this fall equinox time, this veil thinning, matter of fact, right now is the perfect time, or one of the best times for altar work and ritual magic, to really, because again, that connection to your higher self, inner source, to the elementals, the Devic kingdom, you know what I'm saying? The veils is thin, so your messages will be relayed more easily, and you'll be able to pick up on the messages more easily. You'll be more, matter of fact, around this time, you'll find that you may, even dealing with the fact of course, we want our growth, and we be tested by, in essence, going through, hardship, stuff like that. But with this veil thinning, you're gonna feel like a ease of like being able to, like, you're gonna feel more of a connection with your pineal. You're gonna feel more inspired to eat healthier and things of this nature, in the essence of feeling how thin the veil is and how you're feeling more of a connection. And this connection is felt even when, you are a person that's not even conscious of what's going on, in essence, you're just not conscious of it. And I also switching through from the, to the fall equinox, we're moving from, from the Virgo to Libra. Virgo, the Virgin, the Virgo energy deals with, organization, organizing things together. Matter of fact, I forgot, was it a new moon or something we just dealt with in Virgo? I can't recall, but it's about organizing things, getting things together. Matter of fact, and also detoxing. Matter of fact, detoxing and organization. And detoxing in essence is getting rid of old vibrations, old hindering vibrations. Cause detox is not just getting rid of anything, it's getting rid of harmful things. So when you detoxifying yourself, you're getting rid of, you know, either getting rid of, certain energies, negative energies, on a food level, consumption, like from music, TV, like it's detoxing on all levels. And again, also the organization of things. As a matter of fact, before hey, we gotta get things organized, set up this, set up that. Before we go out there and reap, reap what we sow. Reap what we sow before we go out there and reap the plants. Like go pick up the corn and do all this. We gotta get things organized, get things together. Hey, so and so, go put that over there. Matter of fact, and use it. When we reaping a lot of these fruits and stuff like that, we may even also kind of throw a little party as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that Virgo virgin energy. Organizing things before the organizing things and detoxifying. Getting things right. So the Libra vibes could balance everything out. The Virgin organizes everything, and then it's weighed up on the scales and balanced and divvied out, you know what I'm saying, on the Libra, you know what I'm saying. So you see the zodiac sign fall into this, to this story as well, and all the, from Greek mythology, all this is all allegory of, planets and certain energies, or quote unquote gods, extensions of source in essence. But again, it's that organizing energy, getting ready to, fall into the Libra vibes, and also with the equinox, also etymology wise, equal, because you're having equal amount of daytime and equal amount of nighttime, because also dealing with, matter of fact, the story of Christ in the Bible, this is the story of the actual sun, and it's the story of the actual Christ seed energy in your body, as above, so below, just like the sun has this little orbit, you got the Christ seed energy in you that moves a certain way. And, whenever it gets close to winter time, that's when the sun doesn't come out as much, or like the sun has died, you know what I'm saying? And what's funny, even down to the Christ story, or from the Jesus standpoint that the Catholic religion make it, they mess it up so much because they make Christmas seem like it's Christ's birthday. You know what I'm saying? When really it's the when the Christ energy is really quote unquote dying and going into the underworld. You know what I'm saying? Descending into Saturn's or Satan's world. That December, January, Capricorn, the goat, Baphomet, the devil, going into that energy. And then, come around in April, resurrecting, Aries, head first, the Lamb of God that take away the sins of the world, you know what I'm saying? Come forth, that ram, and this is also, the Christ energy. Again, it's the Christ energy and the Lucifer energy, one and the same, But you see though how these stories are just lined up with, it's allegory. It's not about Jesus really getting kissed by a guy named Judas, being betrayed. It's the sun going through the constellation of Scorpio. The Scorpio stinger is like the kiss of Judah, or Judas or whatever, but that's all allegory. So right now, it's about reaping the harvest, all those things that we plant those seeds about, reaping that, and also about, balancing things out, the Libra scale. Because matter of fact, also the sign of Libra, you know, the little scale. Well, the sign of Libra though looks like a sun on the horizon, you know, like a little half sun with a line under it, you know. In essence, you know, half day, half night, equinox of balance, you know, balancing on the scales of Libra, you know, and it was once said, matter of fact, I think I got this information from Bro C. Freeman L. Matter of fact, y'all go check out Bro C. Freeman L. Bro as in brother, short for brother, bro. C, the letter C, the name Freeman, and then the Moorish title L-E-L, or title or whatever, you know. I don't know the specifics, but he had speaking to what he had said, well, you know, a lot of the zodiac sign symbols, you know, got changed around from, you know, from the indigenous time. To matter of fact, like the crab is really the scarab, you know what I'm saying, like the beetle, and the Libra used to actually be a donkey with a scale on his back, but they switched that up. You know, but you know, it's about bringing balance, and right now, you know, matter of fact, steeping into the full moon energy and it being in Aries, it's reaping what we sow and giving us a fiery energy, you know, an ambitious energy to really be our greatest version. So one of the main reasons why it is Aries energy, you know, is there's no coincidence that it's Aries energy in this moment, is for us to kind of be fiery and more passionate and, you know, really step into that place of being our greatest version, you know. And matter of fact, also with this full moon and Aries energy and equinox energy, and matter of fact, it's kind of speaking, you know, from now and moving on, because of course, you know, on that day of the full moon is when it's intense and when it, you know, but that energy still works on us, you know, afterwards until the energy of the next moon cycle is, you know, starting to kind of creep in and being felt more. But you know, these energies are what we're dealing with, you know, for the next about 2-3 weeks in essence, on the intense, you know, on a strong level. But also you got a Uranus factor. You know, Uranus is like an unpredictable, erratic vibration, you know, so you're gonna have this vibe of like you could feel one way about something, and the next minute probably feel another way. Cause matter of fact, I've been catching that vibe lately. You know, again, when somebody said, all right, Uranus is having this erratic and unpredictable, I'm like, that's why I'm in and out of these vibes. Cause like, say for instance, like even with doing videos lately, like where I be in the vibe of doing it, but then I could actually have a vibe of not want to do it come over me strongly. You know, like just a fluctuation of you know, erratic unpredictability. So just be aware of that. You know, and also things may feel intense right now, more so for those of us who still holding on to the old paradigms. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. You know, fall equinox moving into, you know, uh, not only reaping the fruits of the harvest or whatever, but also, you know, in essence, moving into, you know, a new energy in essence, getting rid of the old and bringing in new. And you may feel an intense energy, like if you're still in the position of like trying to hold on to something that no longer serving you very strongly. You know, this Aries full moon and equinox energy is gonna be very it's gonna feel a little intense to you, and that's because you're still in that old mind frame of trying to hold on to things, and then that the energy of the moon, you know, and the Aries energy is working on you, so it's creating like a little internal battle because you're trying to hold on to something, but it's telling you to, you know, to move forward, to be fiery, you know, and move away from that old mind frame, the old paradigm. That's what we're doing right now. We releasing and moving into this, you know, this new paradigm of our being, you know, and again, like really nipping in the butt that old hindering self that no longer serves us. You know, since I've been home, I've been realizing, you know, a lot of people going through the vibes, just that dark night of the soul. As a matter of fact, even right now, I still feel like that vibe of like the further we go, the harder it's gonna be, to like the harder it is to flirt with your old self. So you know how we been able to, throughout most of our old life, let's just say like that, procrastinate with, with working on ourselves, it's getting to a point where it's just gonna be, very detrimental the more you procrastinate on fixing certain things about yourself. That's why I've been having to like stay tight on my money vibe, like, and make sure I'm doing my affirmations and getting that old mind frame off of me, like doing visualization rituals, just whatever, like, like, man, I release all negative thought forms and patterns from my being and my auric field forever, and envision a white light, coming through your body, or taking a sheet of paper and writing down all of the old hindering things you used to do, and then with intent, set that sheet on fire and see those energies being burnt and released, not only through the fire of the words that you wrote it down as, but also within your being, going through these different processes. Because again, it's gonna get just a little more difficult if we're playing around with, moving forward on handling our soul purpose, And on a global level, you'll see that it's gonna be just a lot of, head first Aries energy, super active, matter of fact, and more so in the area of exposing the government and being just steadfast, and he's a big word, being just like that energy of people like really like active on like, man, we gotta get this done, we gotta speak up on this, we gotta do that, like you're gonna see a lot of that on a global scale. And again, in balancing the Libra, balancing energies, matter of fact, balancing ourselves, the shadow self is not nothing to hate and to fear and run away from. That certain aspects of ourselves that are gonna, like we're not becoming, when we think about our ascension, sometimes we get this idea that we're about to become this perfect person, in the sense of like what we were moralistically taught on the human level is like, this is how you should be, like where everything is gonna be perfect, like I'ma never get mad and I'ma never get sad and I'ma never, like, no, you're still gonna have those vibrations, but you're just operating from a more high vibrational state of being. But you're still gonna be balanced in your being, it's still gonna have an area of aggression that exists in your area of anger somewhere, you know what I'm saying, like all these things still gonna exist in your being. It's just about balancing and transmuting, like, and using it in a balanced way, because some of us let our aggression hinder us, you know what I'm saying. So it's not necessarily that you, say for instance, want to get rid of your aggression as much as you just want to channel it to a certain area, get aggressive on speaking up on healthy food and shop, you know what I'm saying, be aggressive in that area, you know what I'm saying, where it's not harmful, it's helpful, you know what I'm saying, where it's only harmful to somebody who's on the opposite side of that spectrum. But it, it's an energy that shouldn't be, just, oh, I gotta get rid of aggression. No, you just gotta channel it into a more healthy place, you know what I'm saying, like that's it. Even with like I wouldn't say fear in the essence. Well, I mean, yeah. Is there a healthy form of fear? To a certain extent. I mean, just like stress, like, like a healthy form of stress would be like that little vibe of like, that urge to make sure I take care of doing my videos or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's it shouldn't be intensified, you know. It's all right to experience, all of these vibrations, accept, and then, if it accept what is, and then if it's something that you could tell is going to be continuously hindering, then yeah, then do what you got to do to move away from that energy in the moment. And matter of fact, speaking of like, letting go of the old paradigm, stuff like that. Matter of fact, and the people who holding on to the old paradigms, uh, feeling this intense energy. Matter of fact, with me with the angel number 999, I just received the angel number 999. What it was yesterday, day before yesterday. But anyway, the 999. I'm not going deep into it, but it goes for closure. Is bringing things to a close. Like again, something that you was holding on to, like that old sweater. It's time to throw that old sweater in the garbage. That old form of being attached to our family too much. It's like gotta move past that. Like move past whatever little old way of thinking is stopping you from being your greatest you. You know what I'm saying? And that number 9 brings that energy, and just in the essence too of 9 is the last number in essence. Num Anything past from 0 to 9 is just continuation of combinations of those numbers, but there's no new number in essence. Because at the end of the day, a 29 breaks into 1911, which breaks down to 2. So 29 in essence is 2, for example. But again, the 999 last number, so closure. And matter of fact, no coincidence that I saw that 999, bringing things to closure. And then in essence, what will come after a 9 will be going back to the beginning at the 1. And matter of fact, when we speak of 1, we talking to Aries, like this full moon in Aries, 1, the ram, head first, the cerebral area. Matter of fact, the number 1 on a positive level, it deals with individuality, leadership, creativity, positiveness, active energy, ambition, persistence, self-reliance, and boldness. And matter of fact, that's gonna be the energies we're gonna be dealing with. That individuality, that creativity. Now, beware though to not fall into to two places, to not fall into that two individual place, like where you just so by yourself and honed in to where you forget like you are God, uh with reflections around, like you're not, it's just not your just individual being that has to make everything happen, and also that you don't have to be a control freak in that manner either. So beware of becoming a control freak in this time, trying to be hands-on about every manifestation, like everything, like, oh, I gotta do this. Realize that it's always about doing what we love, you know so let even the actions towards your business or whatever, let it be in a moment that you really love or feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? We'll always want to be in a place of happiness and of loving, because again, your now creates your future. So what you're experiencing now, while you're stressing out, feeling like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I gotta control this, control that, well, then that's gonna create more of that in your future. And right now the universe is helping us out to say, wait, pump your brakes. Yeah, you want to have this Aries energy of being hands-on, being creative, having your, individualness and things of this nature, but you also don't want to become a control freak, and you also want to fall into that vibe of being, too, matter of fact, like egocentric, or, too bossy, trying to, like, again, over control everything, and it's not about micromanaging everything. And the universe will definitely teacher that you can't control everything by making things go so array, in essence, to like prove to you, like, motherfucker, you better stop trying to control everything and go with the flow of me. you know which that's your higher self speaking to you. God is all, and from our individual perspective, we have a unique uh perspective of, well, put like the sources with, is all of us and within all of us, and through our experience, of through this life and past lives, we have a unique perception and way of seeing things. But it's definitely don't want to be over managing. As a matter of fact, somebody brought this up, but I think to my days where I had to learn where when I first got my growth. Of course, you want to make sure you start off your day right with meditation and affirmations and all, but at the same time, you got to remember it's about, excuse me, being like a bodhisattva where you balancing these energies out even within your day. Like you're not always having to sit down and meditate to be able to be in alignment with your inner source and to operate, from a conscious perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because we could also fall into that vibe of micromanaging our spirituality, and indirectly that's the egoic mind and slid into into your spiritual practice and disrupting that energy by trying to overly manage everything. Because like I had situations where I make sure I meditate every day, and I have days, and I know again there's no coincidence in the universe, and where I have situations where it's like an extremely loud situation or something just stopping me from meditating. And and I would still feel like, oh no, I gotta forcefully find this meditation until I caught the vibe where, man, Source knows that not only is healthy for you to meditate every day, but also that you want to meditate every day. So in this situation, if it's not lined up for you to actually just go and meditate with these, then maybe it's telling you to practice just going with the flow, sometimes to get used to staying consciousness without having to always meditate. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a strength in that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, because allowing that my egoic mind and that old religious mind frame of dogmatism of like going to church, like, man, I gotta meditate, man. I gotta meditate on my energy. Like, no, man, you meditate every day and you stay connected every day. So, in essence, you could have the energy of staying connected just in case you don't meditate. You know what I'm saying? On a certain day or whatever. So just be careful to not fall into that super micromanaging control freak. I gotta make every, because there's a balance. Because for some of us, we have been being so lazy to where, yeah, you are being asked to be a little more hands-on, but even with that, it's still not trying to tell you to try to over control everything. Matter of fact, just like planting a seed, like, you have control over what you have control over, but then let your higher self and your inner source provide the rest from outside, through your reflections or whatever outside of you, in essence. So you plant that little seed, and so say for instance, like Abraham always joke about it, where you plant the seed and then you sit over the seed, like, come on, seed, grow. Come on, why you not growing? It's time for you to grow. This and that, and like every day you just watching the seed. It's like, bro, you plant the seed, let the seed grow. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let the process, vibe. That make me think to when me and my brethren from New York, shout out to my brother Josh, blessings to you and the fam. Like when me and my brethren Josh was moving towards Cali, and we was in, the house in what it was, Merino Valley didn't go through, so we all in the little IE area, quote unquote, the inland empire area, looking for a place to stay. And man, we had got to a hotel one day and we was just getting it in on the computer. I'm talking about not a second passed where we wasn't looking up houses and calling people, things of this nature. And as we were doing that, and wasn't getting phone, because basically we almost had like a whole days of work doing that, and much phone calls wasn't coming. And I called the omens. I told my brother, I'm like, wait, hold on, brethren. Source just told me, like, bro, we done put in enough of work on the manual level. You know what I'm saying? Look, because again, you don't want to stress you. Life is not about stressing yourself out. You were duped. You think about it like this, like a drug. Like you were given a drug that makes you think that it's cool to be stressed out, and you've been taking that drug all your life that makes you think that it's cool to be stressed out. That's not really what it's about. Like, you don't have to be stressed. You don't have to overwork yourself. But anyway, I was like, man, we could just fall. It's time to fall back. and just let Source, Source is like, all right, let me do my job. Literally, 'cause I told him that exactly. Cause I told him when I relay them type of messages, I relay it just how my high self relayed to me. So I'm like, bro, it was on some shit like, bro, put in the work. Let me do my job. You know what I'm saying? God damn. Take your hands off. Again, like standing over the plant, stand over the seed, like grow, grow, grow. And when you're doing that, you're blocking your blessing. In essence, that's blessing blocking whenever you're overly managing things or overly, like, again, putting a certain overly focus on something, you're blocking it. Matter of fact, just like how some people don't realize, like, by focusing, like sometimes they want to manifest money by focusing on it, and it's like, all right, you focus on it for a little bit, but then you gotta fall back and just go with the flow, because for one, when you focus on it, you gotta watch the way you focus on it, because if you focus on it from a place of lack, then that's what's being created, is you feeling the vibe of it not being there. So that's what's being created, is more of it not being there. You know what I'm saying? But you go to blessing blocking yourself whenever you're trying to over manage and overthink. Matter of fact, 3 good crystals to work with right now: the pyrite, can't really see it good, but the garnet, and the ruby. Which ruby and garnet almost basically have the same energies, but it's like that fiery passion. Because matter of fact, Aries energy, deals with the Mars energy, iron. Matter of fact, speaking of that, a lot of us also may be experiencing a little bit of a little flame being lit in our libido area. So a lot of us may feel a more intense sexual energy as well, not only from the full moon and Aries, so with the Mars energy, in essence, dealing with the full moon, because it's a double energy. So say for instance, you got the Mars energy that's attached to Aries, but then Mars is also giving off an energy, like, and affecting us, because it's coming out of a retrograde. So we're gonna kind of have just a little bit of, still like a little, not intense Mars energy, but just still amount of it being felt. So in combination with the in essence, the energy of it from Aries and the actual planet, so it's gonna be a little amplified. So you may have a little bit of a fired up libido or sexual energy. Matter of fact, especially moving into more so into October. But ain't nothing wrong with the sex, remember? Just make sure you're not having sex with no any and everybody in the essence of just energy that's harmful to you. But it's not for us to be scared of sex. Contrary to all those little, like, oh yeah, you gotta make sure to, it's a balance. We're all different. Cause say for instance, all that, making sure this, and matter of fact, micromanaging, making sure it's the right partner, this and that, and you micromanage. You see how Source deals with trying to micromanage in every place, cause say for instance, like, sometimes we may have sexual experiences that may be a little random, and contrary to our belief, of what we've been taught to scare us away from these situations, when you come across somebody, but you just met them, feeling the vibe, whatever. Because that's another thing too, with this closure in like energy of closure and the energy of this, this awakening vibe, or this, new beginning vibe type of situation. You may have situation where, again, we're getting rid of old relationships or old jobs, and getting new relationship, new jobs. So and also with this Mars energy, being a little fired up, you want to be open to sexual experiences, but without being head first about them. be aware of the energy that you're dealing with fully, you know what I'm saying? And more so on the feel vibe. Don't try to look at this person as like where you judging them with your mind and with the moralistic value, you know what I'm saying? Like feel excuse me, feel that person, feel the vibe of this person. You know, that's the whole thing I speak to too, is like with dealing with sexual energy, just making sure you're feeling the vibes, and again, not just because I want to have sex, like just for the like extremely low vibe of just the objective of I just want to have an orgasm, you know, like nah, it should be a connection, a mutual exchange of energy, you know what I'm saying? It's a healing process for both parties. And always remember, you know, sexual energy is a good thing. I mean, no good or bad, but it's a beneficial thing. You know, it's not nothing for us to run away from. You know, something for us to embrace. As a matter of fact, looking at Mars, Mars deals with sex. It also deals with aggression, like war, hate, destruction, fighting. You know, things of that nature. And I saw a correlation, like when you have sexual dysfunction, it may lead to other negative aspects of Mars, like, you know, aggression or hate, or, you know, wanting to fight somebody or be destructive. You know, when we think about people who don't properly balance their sexual energy, because some of us don't always do it through sex. That's another fact. You know what I'm saying? There are breathing techniques. You know, the way of the towel. You know, with the breathing, you definitely could transmute the intensity of sexual energy. But at the end of the day, you know, it's all right to have sex. Nothing is wrong with it. You know, and we are here now to experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we so uptight, and then we make it to the age of like 89 and finding out that we could have been having more sex or should have been having more sex and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? So as always, that vibe. You know, just be aware, you know what I'm saying, of all your situations. Just be conscious of what you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Don't overthink it. That's where most of all the fear and everything come from. You know, you fearing sex and all that because you overthinking about it. You know, are you being fear mongered by some thoughts or some teachings that, you know, somebody taught you from a vibration of being scared? Source don't never want us to be scared of any aspect of ourselves, especially the main aspects of ourselves. You know, like, you know, say for I'm a melanated person. For me to be scared of melanin or brown skin, like I'm scared of myself. Like, how can I even be if I'm scared of what I am? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, sexual energy is everything and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Embrace it. That's basically it. You know, the full moon in Aries energy. You know, getting rid of the old, balancing out energies. You know, the Libra scale, balancing things out. Good time for ritual magic, altar work. Time to really, you know, really get into that vibe of handling up on our soul purpose. Like, all right, we know we gotta let so and so go. We know we can't, you know. A matter of fact, again, don't even look at it so much as the vibe of cutting somebody off, as far as like, well, you know, who you should be, like, what type of presence you should have around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what we have to do in order for us to become our greatest version. You know I need to start dealing with music more. I know what you know what I'm saying? I know I just gotta, matter of fact, keep on these exercises, because that Capricorn energy, that pessimism, that fear, because matter of fact, trying to be perfect, like, bro, just do, you know, and get rid of those old hindering vibrations and move forward. You know, and this Aries full moon energy is definitely gonna give us that fiery spark to really, you know, do what we gotta do and get it did. That's basically it, y'all. Yep. That's it. And of course, full moon is gonna shine the light on these shadows. So, again, this time may be intense if you find yourself still holding on strongly to a lot of hindering uh, habits, thought forms, or situations. If you're still holding on to a lot of hindering situations, then it's going to be a very intense, full moon. But that's basically it. Peace. Happy now. Now the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace. Happy Equinox.